Today we're looking at the top 10 most expensive tea in the world. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, thanks for joining us once again. Today our top 10 list introduces to you the exquisite world of luxurious teas. Tea has been a part of Oriental traditions for millennia. Europe and the US first developed a taste for these mystical leaves in the 18th century when British traders began smuggling tea seeds from China to their Indian colonies in the Himalayas. In West Bengal, tea plantations replaced opium fields in huge numbers, and a new culture was born. This change in harvest is widely regarded as one of the most defining eras in modern international trade. Today, tea products are ubiquitous and the choice has become extremely diverse. Fruity, smoky, herbal, or aromatic, the list is endless. However, the very best tea leaves will always be the ones grown on mystical grounds, cultivated by ancient methods, and distributed with a touch of class. Let's dive in. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. Number 10. Gaoshan tea, $170 per kilo. The first tea on our list is both unique and extremely rare. It survived thousands of years of savage typhoons high up in the mountains of Taiwan. There are less than 800 Tainchi plants, and each one must be carefully cultivated. Chinese legends believe the tea's medicinal qualities derive from its ability to survive on such rugged terrains. It's used to treat insomnia, dizziness, and various skin conditions. Number 9. Silver Tips Imperial Tea, sold for $400 per kilo. This product grows at the highest altitudes of any teas. Plantations can be found as high as 8,000 feet into the Himalayan mountains. Its mystical aroma is attributed to a unique harvesting method. Silver Tips Imperial Tea can only be picked during full moon nights. By following cosmic cycles, the tea's potency is apparently enhanced. After the harvest, the teas are left out to dry in slightly moist conditions, so they begin to ferment. As a result, the product has become known as a liquor tea and is usually enjoyed in the evening after a luxurious banquet. The tea can also boast being processed and packaged at the Makhabari Tea Estate in Darjeeling. This estate is renowned as the very first tea factory and the only one in India to have never been owned by the British. Number 8. Garyarna Broken Leaf Black Tea, sold for $405 per kilo. This tea's history is also linked with a great European power of the imperial era. The Portuguese were some of the first merchants in Asia. Tea reached the palaces of Portuguese rulers by the 1750s. In 1883, the Garyarna tea plantation was founded on the remote Azores Islands. The magical destination, formed through volcanic activity millions of years ago, provides the only climate and soil in Europe where quality tea can be grown in abundance. The tea's harvesting method also makes it a unique product. Farmers only pick the third leaf from each branch. This ancient tradition creates a luxurious and exclusive aroma. It's a beautiful fusion of East meeting West. Number 7. Gyakuru tea, sold for $650 per kilo. Gyakuru tea is a Japanese green sencha tea. Grown in the Uji district of Japan for as long as history can remember, this is definitely one of the oldest teas on this list. It distinguishes itself from other sencha teas in quality and flavor because of the way it's cultivated. Usually, green tea leaves are immediately dried in the sun after harvesting. However, the gyakuru leaves are deliberately dried in the shade for the first 2 weeks. This raises the amino acids and alkaloid caffeine, giving the tea a stronger, sweeter taste. These unique properties also mean that gyakuru tea is widely regarded as a form of alternative medicine. Rich Japanese grandmothers are renowned for trying to cure the common cold with gyakuru. It's a little bit more expensive than pharmaceutical medicines, but far more classy. Number 6. Taiwanese insect poop tea, sold for $1,000 per kilo. The Taiwanese are serious about tea. This product in particular is fiercely respected. Perhaps the most bizarre tea on this list, its cultivation methods are distinctly unique. Tea leaves are collected and piled together in a heap. Then a horde of larval insects, similar in appearance to a silkworm, are dumped on top. The larvae gradually devour the pile of leaves. Of course, what goes in must come out, and it's these droppings the tea is actually made from. One reason it's so expensive is because harvesting it is more labor-intensive than any other plant on the planet. Farmers must use specialized tweezers and magnifying glasses to painstakingly pick up each drop. The myth behind this tea is also worth a mention. It was said to be cultivated by accident in the 18th century. When local farmers had tasted the insect poop, they were convinced it was a special product and sent some to the Chinese emperor as a gift. And Aluxers, if tea really isn't your beverage of choice, click in the top right corner to watch our video, The 10 Most Expensive Wines in the World. Number 5. Yellow gold tea buds, sold for $3,000 per kilo. This product perfectly represents the region from which it comes from. All the ostentatious glitz and glamour of Singapore is reflected in a tea strain refined with superfluous luxury. This is literally the Gucci of teas. The tea only exists on one mountain, and harvesting of the buds is restricted to 1 day per year. Trusted farmers use golden scythes to pick the buds that only grow on the very tops of the trees. After being picked, the buds are placed in containers so they dry at a higher temperature. This increases the amount of polyphenol, causing the leaves to turn yellow. Once dried, the leaves are hand-painted by skilled artisans with 24-karat gold. The tea company defends this level of ostentation by saying the gold is not just decorative. Indeed, ancient Chinese medicine considers gold to be a special dietary supplement with profound health benefits. So don't worry if the gold markets crash. You can always store the metal on a spice rack. Number 4. Guanyin tea, sold for $3,000 per kilo. Tied in price with the yellow gold tea bud of Singapore, this tea's ancestral past could not be more different. The origins of Guanyin tea are steeped in folk legend and hallowed by spirituality. Legend has it that the tea was discovered over 1,000 years ago by a peasant farmer in the Fujian province of China. Every day on his way to the fields, he would pass a temple built in honor of Guanyin, the iron goddess of mercy. The Fujian region was extremely poor at this time, and no one had money to maintain a temple that had fallen into disrepair. The peasant farmer became despondent by this fact and resolved to do all he could to maintain the building. He would sweep, clean, and light incense. One night, the goddess Guanyin visited him in a dream and thanked him for all of his hard work. She told him that a gift had been left at the back of the temple. The farmer found the tea shoot and began to cultivate it. It soon gained in popularity as one of the finest teas in China. As a result, the peasants were raised out of destitution and into remarkable prosperity. Even to this day, every year a festival is held in honor of the tea and the iron goddess of mercy. Number 3. Shuhaxian tea, sold for $6,500 per kilo. The mysterious nature of this oolong tea gives it a magical quality which makes it unparalleled in popularity and reputation in China. Shuhaxian loosely translates to water sprite. In English, the tea is widely known as Narcissus tea. The coincidental link between the Chinese and English name is quite extraordinary. The Chinese name originates from a story about water sprites who punished a vain man by drowning him in a cup of tea. When brewed, Shuhaxian turns perfectly black with a wickedly enticing aroma. The color is so fine, it creates a perfect reflection. Whereas Narcissus is the main character in an ancient Greek legend. In the story, he drowns in a lake trying to kiss his own reflection. Spooky, huh? This tea is rarely exported outside of China and is mainly used in the country's most expensive restaurants. Number 2. Panda dung tea, sold for $70,000 per kilo. This modern tea is cultivated in the mountainous regions of the Sichuan province in northern China. The product first came onto the market in 2012 and represents an entirely new concept behind the purpose and function of tea cultivation. The region is home to some of the last remaining panda bears in the world. One of the reasons panda bears have become so endangered can historically be attributed to the agricultural expansion. However, the philosophy of this tea company hopes to reverse the process. The plantations are entirely self-sustainable and create zero-waste product. And just like that, panda dung tea has tapped its way into the niche market of earth-conscious millionaires. Pandas are free to roam through the tea plantations and are encouraged to use them as toilets. This fertilization technique creates a strong, dark tea with fresh aromas. The tea is sold at high prices due to its quality, but also for its efforts to conserve the natural environment. How wonderful that you can sit smugly at home with a $200 cup of panda dung tea, safe in the knowledge that every luxurious sip helped to save a panda bear's life. Number 1. Da Hong Pao Tea, sold for $1 million per kilo. And coming in at number 1 is the tea of all teas. It's estimated that unless you're extremely well connected in China, the chances of tasting this tea is 1 in 494 billion. Legend has it that thousands of years ago, a Chinese emperor's mother was critically ill. Some peasants from the Wuyi Mountains offered him some tea that they said was blessed and could cure his mother's illness. The remedy worked, and the entire empire was astonished. Immediately, the emperor asked for the whereabouts of the bushes that produced this miraculous blend. The name Da Hong Pao literally translates to red robe because on finding the 6 bushes, a soldier took off his red robe and cast it upon the shrubs, claiming it for the emperor. Today, the 6 bushes still exist and are a national treasure of China. Day and night, heavily armed guards keep watch over the plant that's worth 20 times its weight in pure gold. And that's a wrap on the world's most expensive teas, Aluxers. Thanks for sticking with us all the way to the end. And for doing that, you know you get a bonus. Here it is. The tea trade was successful as it managed to break the shady opium trade that was going on between China and Britain. By introducing an entirely new international market, opium addiction decreased drastically in Europe, contributing to a healthier society. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to Alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story.